Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are definitely glad to have you guys back here with us today. So we're going to be diving deep here in the newly revamped City Park golf course that PlayDemic has just remastered for us here for the new Christmas Parks tournament. This just came out for this holiday season. So for you guys out there, it's definitely going to spice things up a little bit for a lot of you guys that were a little bummed for us to find out that we were playing City Park here for the next tournament. But it's going to be quite interesting, in my opinion, now that we have a nice new course here to play on. But without further ado, guys, before we hop on over to hole number 1, par 4 here, if you guys have yet to hit that subscribe button for us, click that subscribe button down below and join the Team Energy family. We'd definitely love to have you on board, and we're always trying to expand our community. So smash that like button while you're here, guys. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and let's hop on over to hole number 1, par 4. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Pro and Expert level division guide and walkthrough here for the newly revamped Christmas version of City Park. So the plan behind hole number 1, par 4 here, is to play this specific shot with 10% elevation here off of the drive. Now we're going to pull this back here and play this off of the first little hilled fairway there that cuts in and out on the left-hand side. Now we're going to play this at least with a side spin 3 ball here, and I would recommend playing this with at least a power 3 ball as well. Now I would recommend here using about half as much curl here as I use. Now I would recommend using about 10% curl there, I would say. Now that's going to let us bounce further to the right there onto the fairway, letting us bounce all the way further down onto the fairway about 15 to 20 yards, landing us around 350 to 360 yards. Now that's going to allow us here to use the sniper at the pin. Now this second shot is going to be played with minus 5% elevation here at max distance with your sniper. So we're going to aim basically to get the ball to bounce straight up and hit the very side of that plateau, heading straight towards the pin. I believe that the best option here, in my opinion, to play this specific hole is with no spin at all, so that your ball can basically travel on its own, hit right up onto the plateau, and it will actually slow it down, hitting that plateau if you do not hit it fast enough. If you do hit it going really fast with topspin, you will ricochet and just fly right over top of it. So be careful, guys. It should be a decent little chance there at the eagle. All right, though, guys, that is going to take us on over to hole number 2, par 5 here. So starting off this hole here, I do want to note that if we do have a drastic tailwind here in the tournament, we will potentially be able to reach that second fairway over there with full overpower and a power 5 ball here. And I'm going to say that that's going to need at least a 10-mile-an-hour tailwind and 7 bars of topspin to reach that second fairway. Now, if we do not have a wind that allows us to do so, what we're going to do here is play this shot at the very end of this first fairway, getting it down there as far close to that rough line there as we can. We're going to play that shot off the tee box there at 0% elevation, and this second shot here at plus 10%. Now we want to play this with a couple bars of left-hand side spin here. I played this with 3 bars of left-hand side spin. We could play it with a little bit of curl here to the left, but we just want to make sure that we do not go in that bunker or that rough line there. The rough line on the right-hand side does have a pretty steep hill that goes to the right of it here that will slope you back down to the right into the middle of the fairway. It's kind of a little half pipe there, but that's basically going to set ourselves up here for a really, really nice third shot here that we're going to have to, make. So we're going to have to, make this shot if we want to land this eagle, because we cannot reach the green in 2 shots unless we can get onto that second fairway. So what we're going to do here is play this second shot, or this third shot here, at minus 5% at mid-distance. Now, as long as you guys get your numbers right here, we found an absolute sweet spot there that you can literally roll with no spin straight up the backstop there, back down and into the hole perfectly there, getting that eagle there on hole number 2, par 5. So good luck out there, guys. All right, though, guys, that is going to move us on over to our first par 3 that we do have here today at hole number 3. So the plan behind this specific hole here is we're looking for a double bounce here on the left-hand side of this middle hill here that's on the green. Now, what we want to do here is use just a little bit less of spin here than I used. Now, we're going to use about a bar and a click here of right-hand side spin. And we're going to lessen up the backspin just a little bit. Now, if we lessen up that backspin, that may mess with our side spin just a little bit. Now, we're wanting to actually play this shot here with the Grizzly. Now, with the Grizzly here or the Goliath, we're going to play this shot here at mid-distance plus 10%. Now, the ideal approach there, like we said, is to bounce off of that middle little hill there onto the left hill, rolling right down into the pin, smooth, and getting that hole in one. Now, if you do not feel comfortable with that approach, you can use a more direct approach here right off of the left-hand side of that hill. We can play this with about 4.5 to 5 bars of backspin, depending on how far up you put your target and how much room you leave before the pin to let your ball roll. But basically, we're looking for a perfect ball here, 10% elevation off the tee box, and you guys should be very, very close there at snagging this hole in one. Now, we're going to come in here just to the left, bouncing right down the middle, straight at the pin there. Now, you see we come in right at the exact distance there. My opponent made a very nice shot there, so definitely going to be a very good chance there, guys. So take advantage of these holes that you know that are a little bit easier so you can get those strokes. Okay, we got hole number 4, par 4 now. So we can play this actually one of two different ways here, but the way that I would recommend here is to play the left-hand side. Now, we could play it off of that right little hooked little quarter pipe there, it looks like, on the right-hand side that hooks up. We can play it with some left-hand spin and some top spin, bouncing it towards the middle of the fairway. But what we're going to do here for our plan behind this hole is play this shot here with a little bit of overpower, plus 10% elevation off of the tee box here. Just a little bit of curl here to the right, full right-hand side spin, 3 bars that is, and about 4 bars of top spin. Now that's going to end us up right down the middle of this fairway here, setting us up for a very nice eagle chip straight at the pin here at mid-distance, 0%. Now, as long as you guys get your numbers right here, this is another very great opportunity at snagging an extra stroke. So what we want to do is basically play this here with about a bar and a half to 2 bars of backspin, depending on how far up you're wanting to put your target. But just basically find a really nice landing spot right there on the green or on the fringe. Make sure you're going right inside the pin there. I should have put this just a little bit to the right of the pin, because as you're going to see here, we basically come in right over the corner of the hole there and just miss that eagle. So make sure you guys are always spot on there with your wind adjustments, or if you're, a little bit too quick with it, you may end up just a hair too far or just a hair too short. Alright guys, that is going to take us on over to hole number 5, our next par 3 that we do have here today though. So I do want to note here first off that if you guys do not want to use this approach that we're going to show you here in the clip, that you can lay this shot up onto the green with a wood club if that's what you choose to do. You kind of eliminate your opportunity here at the hole-in-one, but I also do want to note here that I shouldn't have probably played this here with a bar of backspin in a headwind in the clip here, but I just wanted to see how the backspin approach was going to come in towards the green. So I want to say off the tee box here, we're going to play this with 20% elevation straight at the pin. We come in just about a ring shy here. So In a tailwind, we are going to play that with a half a bar of backspin straight at the pin, and in a headwind, we are going to play that with a half a bar of topspin straight at the pin. So just make sure that you guys can get a good wind adjustment there at plus 20% elevation, max distance, perfect ball, and you should be A-okay. All right, though, guys, that is going to move us on over to our next par 5 that we do have here today at hole number 6 here. So the plan behind this hole here is to end up right down in the middle of that fork on the fairway. So we can play it down this right-hand side lane. We're going to play this at max distance plus 10% here off the tee box. Now we're going to have to probably overpower just a little bit if we have a crosswind here or a headwind. If we have a tailwind, I would be careful because, you know, obviously we were wanting to bounce a little bit more to the right there and end up further down the fairway, bouncing just at the end of that plateau there to the right, clipping the rough and rolling out onto the fairway. But also wanted to show you guys that if you do end up just going off to the side there, you should be able to roll out onto the fairway because that hill there is pretty forgiving. But we want to show you guys as well here that if you play this up on that right-hand platform down the right-hand lane, you will be able to reach the green here even with the sniper. Now, this second shot here is going to be played at max distance plus 10%. Now, we're going to basically try to get this to curl a little bit up and around down in towards the green. There's a little bit of a funnel there, so that's what we're looking for if we're trying to take this approach. Now, we could also play this shot here with the big dog if we wanted to have more distance, especially if we don't want to fight, end up getting a tailwind or a headwind, excuse me, here on this hole. So if we get a headwind, that's basically going to push us into overpower here and close to that rough line and that bunker right there, coming in very close to being able to go into either one of those hazards. So definitely be careful for that. But just wanted to be able to show you guys that you will be able to reach the green from both of those locations if you cannot get your drive far enough down there in the middle. So good luck with that hole, guys. Going to be a little bit of a tough one, but one I know you guys can manage. Moving right on to hole number 7 here, par 3. So this may be a trickier hole here for some of you guys, actually, if you do not know what you're expecting coming straight into this hole. But if you do have a Guardian in one of your bags, you are in luck. So we're going to play this hole here specifically with the Guardian. So we're going to play this with full backspin, roughly 3 to 4 squares here up towards the hill to the right from the pin. Now, we do not want to be too far up there to the right because that's going to essentially gain us too much speed here. Now, off the pin, we're going to play this here at mid-distance plus 10% with our Guardian. Now, the ideal shot there is to bounce near the beginning of the green there, up onto that backstop, rolling straight down towards the pin, snagging that hole-in-one. Now, if you guys pick a bounce location just to the right of where my ball had bounced, you guys should be able to come in there a little bit higher, straight down at the pin, and be a lot more accurate. All right, though, guys, that is going to move us on over to hole number 8, par 4 here. So the plan behind hole number 8 here is to play this with max distance numbers plus 10% elevation here off of the tee box. We're going to play this with 4 bars of topspin here, a side spin 3 ball. We're going to play this with 3 bars of side spin there, and then we're going to make sure that we can hit a perfect ball here with just a little bit of curl here to the left to try to avoid us from that bunker line on the right-hand side in the middle of that second fairway over there. So we're going to bounce off of this first little panhandle here over onto the second patch over here on the left-hand side of this fairway, and it's going to basically set us up here for a really nice second shot at the pin to get the eagle. Now, we're going to actually play this here at mid-distance numbers, 0% elevation. Now, you're going to see me in the clip here play this at max distance numbers, 0%, but that's why we're going to come off a little bit here, too far to the right. But basically what we're going to do is just put our ball guide up, just going into the pin there so that it comes up over that hill, down, rolling perfectly into the pin, snagging that eagle. So as long as we can make sure that we make a good wind adjustment here, this hill is a little bit funky. I would recommend pulling your ball or your view up like that so that you can get an aerial view of your target there so that you can make a better wind adjustment. But we're basically going to bounce off of that backstop there straight over in there towards the pin if you make a good adjustment, that is. So going to be a little bit of a trickier shot to make there than it was before now that they've revamped the course here. But I like that they're spicing things up here. It's definitely making things more interesting, and I like it. All right, though, guys, that is going to move us on to the last hole that we have here today. Hole number 9, par 5 here for City Park in this revamped Christmas course. So the way that we are going to play this hole here is actually the opposite of the way we played the last hole. We're going to play this with a side spin 3 ball as well. 3 bars of right-hand side spin, 4 bars of top spin, just a little bit of curl here to the right, some overpower if we have to, and we're going to play this at max distance numbers plus 10% elevation here off of the tee box. Now we're going to try to get down here on this little panhandle to the right, as far down there as we possibly can. Now if you're having trouble getting all the way down here, I would recommend using the big dog. Now if you find yourself like just clipping the rough like every time you try to curl over there, you're curling too much or too little, just basically try to perfect that or use the big dog and get all the way onto this island. Now we're going to attack the pin here with 3 bars of backspin, mid-distance, minus 5%. So we're going to play it off the island straight at the pin. As long as you guys can hit a perfect ball and make a good wind adjustment here, you should be very close at snagging this Albatross. We are going to see a lot of people hitting this Albatross here, guys. This is going to be one of the best opportunities here within the whole tournament to really snag an extra stroke. So good luck out there with that one. Really hope that you guys can land that shot there and you can make a perfect ball. Alright though, guys, that is going to be the wrap up for today's guide and walkthrough here for the Christmas Park tournament. We really hope that this guide and walkthrough helped you guys and it gave you a good general idea on how you guys are going to want to attack these holes here this weekend. So good luck out there, guys, and we would love to see you guys as a part of our community. So if you're still here with us today, hit that subscribe button down below and join the Team Energy family. We'd love to have you guys. And as always, happy golfing, and we will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.